I got a new microphone. So, you know, because the old one broke. So I'm sure a lot of you are happy to hear that I finally, you know, we don't have that issue anymore that we all know of. In the meantime, I played a Horatio game. You may notice, for starters, this is a food ship. If I can find where the model is. It's so big, it's actually off the star lane. I think this was 3,000 food, by the way. And that was because, if we look at our home system, we got the glorious food converter. 4.5 grand's worth of food that's being converted into production, into science. So, just out of context, to sum up this game real quick, I'm also using this video as a, testing ground for the new mic. But it was interesting enough. So we started here. We basically had this whole section, this whole center section to ourselves. And we are perma-locked here because we're at peace with the influencers. That's right. I included the other modded races here. It was a too special of a game besides that, because the Cravers were down here. They had that's their capital there, and they had Andromeda right away. We burned that to the ground and their capital because I didn't want any more systems at the time, and of course they were Craver systems, which apparently the Cravers don't even want their Craver systems. And then we had the farmers, or this color, and then these are the Riftborn, and then these are the Vultures. This was a dual galaxy, so we had one warp lane going straight to the center, which is where the influences are. And look at his bubble. This is him not even trying, by the way. This how strong it is. It's so stupid. His start was so weird because he technically only started with one lane because these are all wormholes. It was so bizarre. Which I guess that kind of explains why he didn't have this center section, because the center had nothing but minor factions in it. And I was thinking I was going to get at least 3 of them. But I only got 2 because it was I can't remember. Oh, I could just look it up. Yeah, here's what we spliced, by the way. We spliced 10 different populations, and so here's our bonuses. They're boosted, by the way. So it's technically 10 of each of these, except for science. It's 10 for industry and food, and then 8 for dust and science, I think. I honestly can't remember. I know they're not doubled. And then I also threw on the extra +3 on fertile planets for more food, because that means more food conversion. And so then we yeah, I mean, just look at that. Damage, attack damage, like we got the Calgaros and the Sisters. That's who they were. It was the Sisters that we spliced. So we got 2 extra approval and got the attack buff. And then we spliced the Cravers and the Farmers. And so the Farmers did splice their sowers, but that was all they spliced. So you can actually splice other splicing factions, which just sounds completely chaotic and broken. So yeah, and we did do the gargantuan population this time, which does sound a bit counterintuitive, because we could have used the extra influence in the early game, but honestly, it was pretty alright for the most part. So, yeah, this is definitely the dumbest I've seen. Also, like I said, we were able to boost it population, but that's just a Riftborn thing, apparently. Which, to be honest, we don't really need it. We're kind of broken enough already. It's whatever, honestly, at this point. So yeah, we spliced the Riftborn, the Unfallen, because we took over their territories. We got the Harmony for no reason, taking someone's system. It pissed us. The Nashus and the Ilio would be nice to splice, because this would be 60 per pop, which is so stupid. And then that would fix the influence issue, but hey, whatever. And like I said, here's the Farmers. They actually did splice their sowers, but that was it. And so this was actually funny because, like I just said, before I go on here, we also did, Harishim's, Calgaros, Sisters, and Pulsos. We got Pulsos early on, which was very nice. But we were actually able to sow their planets. Yeah, see? We're actually able to do that, which is so funny. Which I don't know if that works on completely depleted planets. I would hope it would, because that would just, make it funnier. That's pretty much all we did. That's what we did in the early game, is we set up basic infrastructure and prepared to attack the Cravers because they're our neighbor. So of course they're gonna do that. So yeah. And so we burned those two, took those two. This system's bugged. We didn't get far in the main quest line. And then I think it was just after that I was trying to get into the, get on the other side of the bloody galaxy. And so then I ran into big Mr. Jake Paul over here. So, yeah, so I managed to only grab two. But I know he's not trying. And the reason is because I'm trying. I have an amoeba on the other one for a governor, and then this, which are, I think, like the two most influential boosters you could probably get. And we're fighting back against him. The fact that we're fighting back against this guy when he's got a 21 pop system right here, it just shows you, dude. It really does. Like, he's not trying. He's really not. He's not trying here. He also spawned right next to the academy, if I didn't mention that, which was super weird. And then, basically, I kind of got bored because I eventually declared peace with him because I was thinking about it, but I just did, whatever. It would have been nice to splice his stuff, but I didn't. So instead, I decided to do a two-front war of attacking the alliance of the Lumeris and the Unfallen to get their populations, which I actually skipped over the Lumeris entirely because this was their only system that was nearby. Like, you can see I've not explored much. And then, of course, we took the Farmer's bonus, and then we took the Riftborn's bonus, which are these systems down here. And so, there's our stuff here. I found the Ori Calcix missile. We found it. It wasn't the one we unlocked. We found one, and so that was kind of the deciding factor. Also, they did keep using missiles, and I was still having most of my ships have at least one ballistic weapon, so they couldn't touch us. I was actually going to try to see if I could get multiple victories in the same game a turn. Like, I could just show you. We were making 25k a turn. We were a third of the way to the economy victory, and we were 27. We were actually close to a conquest victory. I didn't even check that. We're devoted on 27 out of 17 systems because we're Horatio. So we got a lot of Horatio heroes too, as well as protospores and endless foundries. So yeah. And so on top of making 25k, we sold a metric crap ton of stuff as well. As far as my chronicles are concerned, this is the fastest victory I've done, but even then it's kind of not, because I didn't really bother. I was just kind of having fun with this game. I wasn't really even trying to go for a science victory at this point, so yeah. It was a fun game. I enjoyed it, especially with the food, because I don't really bother with food that much, but, seeing this giant food ship, I mean, come on, man. Yeah, that was a fun game. So hopefully that audio went well and you liked the smooth jazz. My voice is now producing super cash style. And I'm buying time now when I really shouldn't. But yeah, anyways, we'll see y'all in the next one.